CTV Edmonton, local breaking news with Evan Kenny.
We're uniting with Ontario to amplify our voices and double down on our efforts to carve a path forward together.
Teaming up to expand Canada's economy, Alberta strikes a deal with Ontario. Good evening. We'll get back to our top story, but first, there was a large police presence after gunshots were fired in southwest Edmonton earlier today. Police taped off part of a condo complex near 12th Avenue and 156th Street just after 2 in the afternoon. Police say the back window of an unoccupied parked car was shot out. Officers chased down 2 suspects and have taken them into custody. For the latest, go to our website, ctvnewsedmonton.ca. The premiers of Alberta and Ontario say the 2 provinces will work together to connect Canada's economy. Danielle Smith and Doug Ford met today at the Calgary Stampede, announcing 2 different agreements. One is a commitment from Alberta to use made-in-Canada cars for its government fleet and reduce barriers for the interprovincial trade of liquor. The other agreement focuses on building trade corridors with oil and gas pipelines and railways. The goal is to have a new pipeline and enhanced infrastructure in James Bay near the Ontario-Quebec border and in southern Ontario. The 2 provinces also plan to work together on nuclear energy production. Smith said today that Alberta plans to hold public consultations this fall on adding nuclear power to the province's energy mix. Both premiers say they are trying to make Canada's economy more resilient in the face of U.S. tariffs.
And the world changed in November. And I think Canadians understand that we've got to start acting like a country. We've got to start supporting each other. And I think that is the prevailing sentiment in the country.
I love the U.S. I love the American people. But there's one person that's causing a problem right now, and that's President Trump. We want to move forward. We want to build the Amcan fortress. But the days of relying on the United States 100%, they're done. They're gone. We're going to start being reliant and self-reliant on each other.
This builds on an MOU Alberta and Ontario signed last month. The 2 will launch a joint feasibility study later this year. The provincial NDP are skeptical of the agreements. The party says if the UCP government was serious about breaking down trade barriers, they'd start by addressing trucking rules, building codes, labor standards, and accreditation. That's the kind of meaningful action Albertans have been asking for. A 5-year-old boy has died after falling several stories from a downtown high-rise. Now, Edmonton's Ethiopian community is coming together to help the family. CTV's Nariman Issa reports.
An Edmonton family is mourning the death of a 5-year-old boy. It happened last Wednesday at a high-rise just off of Jasper Avenue and 121st Street. Edmonton police say that the boy fell off of the roof. A tenant is telling us that it was a balcony. Now, we just spoke with the father this afternoon. He is asking for privacy for his family. He says that he is trying to stay strong for his wife and his other children. Now, they are getting a lot of support from family, friends, strangers. Now, over the next 3 days, there are going to be people who can offer their condolences at the Ethiopian Community Center. A tenant tells CTV News the boy's family lived on the 21st floor. She says the boy's father approached her on the main floor asking if she saw his son. She says a few minutes later, first responders showed up.
We were there for a while, just kind of talking about things, and that's when we found out that he had fallen from the balcony, and two residents at least saw him fall. They told us eventually, we had to go to our units to give them a chance to grieve.
The property management company Hazelview Properties declined CTV's interview request. Now, it did issue a statement saying in part, at this stage, we have no indication to believe that the incident was caused by any structural issue or defect with the building. Adding, all balconies at the property meet the safety requirements set out in the building code. Hazelview Properties says that it is offering free counseling services to its tenants. It is also working with Edmonton Police as they investigate the circumstances surrounding this fall. Now, Edmonton Police are not releasing further details at this moment. Nariman Issa, CTV News, Edmonton.
The RCMP Major Crime Unit has been called in to investigate after the body of a 16-year-old girl was found in an abandoned vehicle in southern Alberta. The teen was discovered Friday about a kilometer west of the village of Glenwood. The girl's body has been transported to the office of the Chief Medical Examiner for an autopsy. Police have not released her identity. Anyone with information about the death is asked to call the Cardston RCMP or Crime Stoppers. One person is dead following a helicopter crash in central Alberta. RCMP were called to a private landing strip near Range Road 40 in Lacombe County Sunday afternoon. A 54-year-old woman from the hamlet of Benalto died. The 63-year-old pilot from Lacombe County was airlifted to hospital in life-threatening condition. The Transportation Safety Board is now investigating. 27 more Albertans have confirmed cases of the measles. That brings the provincial total to more than 1,200 cases. 2 of those new cases are in Edmonton. The majority of the new cases are in the North Zone. Health officials continue to encourage Albertans to ensure they've received 2 doses of the MMR vaccine. Albertans who aren't fully vaccinated are advised to be extra careful if they are heading to the Stampede in Calgary. The highly contagious virus can linger in the air for a couple hours after an infected person has left the area. 2 independent MLAs say work has started to relaunch the Progressive Conservative Party of Alberta. Independent MLAs Peter Guthrie and Scott Sinclair say they need to collect 8,900 signatures in order to register the party with Elections Alberta. They hope to do that by November 27th. The PC party long dominated provincial politics in Alberta. It dissolved in 2017 when it merged with the Wild Rose Party to form the UCP. Guthrie and Sinclair, who were both removed from the UCP, say this party will be for people who no longer support the UCP.
Albertans will reject the UCP, at least in my opinion, for the same reason that they voted for change back in 2015. That's to get rid of that misconduct and entitlement. Albertans, they need a trusted, legitimate, conservative option on the ballot in that next election.
Guthrie and Sinclair say they will not solicit support from other UCP MLAs, saying they will need to decide for themselves what is right. Alberta Wildfire says the fire danger is currently low across most of the province, but we're not out of the woods yet. Hot weather over the next day or so could make it easier for new fires to start or existing fires to flare up. The majority of the 44 active wildfires in Alberta are being under control or being held. 13 are considered out of control. Fire crews are taking advantage of the conditions to contain those fires before the weather really heats up.
We never put firefighters in the path of a extremely active wildfire. Is just not safe. But when the activity gets down to a level where it's smoldering along the edges of a fire, it's then safe to send crews and heavy equipment and that kind of thing in to build the containment lines.
As always, Alberta Wildfire is also keeping a close eye on the potential lightning activity across the province. Blue-green algae has been found at a large lake northwest of Edmonton. The bacteria has been found in Lac St. Anne. Alberta Health Services says people should stay away from blooms and rinse off immediately if you come into contact with it. AHS says boiling the water will not make it safe to drink. Blooms look like fuzz or globs on the surface. They can be a variety of colors, not just blue and green. Alberta is joining the federal government's Canada Strong Pass by offering free or reduced admission to some provincial attractions. The Royal Alberta Museum is one of 13 museums and historic sites offering free admissions for anyone 17 and under until September 2nd. Entry is half price for ages 18 to 24. The Canada Strong Pass is offering free or reduced admission to national parks and historic sites this summer. Some of the other Alberta attractions offering free admission include the Royal Tyrrell Museum in Drumheller and the Reynolds Museum in Wetaskiwin. After missing the final games of the playoffs, Oilers forward Zack Heyman is getting back in the swing of things. The Toronto native is back in the GTA for his annual charity golf tournament. This event is in its 6th year. It's seeing participants mix with athletes and celebrities while raising money for charity.
It's extremely important. It's extremely important for me and my family. It's very much a family event. And it's incredible to see the amount of volunteers, 6 years, and they keep coming back, and they really make this event happen, and especially all the people who donate and who are playing in the tournament. We have to thank them as well. And yeah, it's been an incredible 6 years, and excited to be back.
The tournament has raised nearly $3 million for a number of different organizations, including Sick Kids Hospital. A Toronto hockey team has captured top spot at the annual Brick Invitational hockey tournament. Toronto Pro Hockey defeated the BC Junior Canucks 2-1 in overtime this weekend at the Ice Palace in West Edmonton Mall. The tournament hosts the best 8, 9, and 10-year-old hockey players representing teams across North America.
These 8, 9, and 10-year-olds are quite amazing. They're doing everything they do out there because of the love of hockey. They want to get better. They give every shift they have. The people can see they are trying so hard.
Now, earlier in the day, the best eliminated players took part in a Canada versus U.S. game. Team Canada won 16-6. The city is giving people a chance to test drive e-bikes and scooters for free before they pay for a ride. A Street Sparks event was held at Booster Juice Recreation Center over the weekend. People got to try out e-bikes and e-scooters to get the hang of them. Bird, Lime, and Neuron representatives were there to answer questions. The city says people who use them feel a lot of benefits.
Things like e-bikes are really accessible. The electric assist helps people get around, maybe further distances, maybe up hills a little bit more easily. And it also helps people get out and take advantage of the trail.
A second Street Sparks event will be held on Saturday, July 19th at Mayfield Park. A couple in Edmonton have just finished building a one-of-a-kind miniature model with several difficult yet delicious details. CTV's Connor Hogg has this love story made out of gingerbread.
We need some popcorn, don't we? Matt Intihar and Sheila Guevara are spending some quality time relaxing together. The couple often spends their time in a more unique way by making gingerbread houses.
Both of us inspired each other in doing a project because he's good at what I am not.
The pair was in a local bake shop when they saw a gingerbread castle built by the baker.
We thought, geez, that would be pretty neat if we could build something like that. I don't know if we're up to it, but we could give it a try.
Their first house was simple, so they decided to go bigger. At first, they planned to build a replica of the White House. They ultimately selected the Alberta legislature as their subject. Close to home and easier to research in person.
As time went on, we thought, hey, we can do this or we could add that on, and so slowly it became a bit more detailed as time went on.
Intihar and Guevara worked on their ginger ledge together and separately when their shift work schedules didn't allow for time together.
He come home, I'm sleeping, or I come home, he's sleeping. But I see, when I come home, I see something that he did. I'm like, oh, cool, I can do this.
After 6 months of gingerbread and marzipan, plus painstaking research, baking, sculpting, and resculpting, this is the result.
We managed to finish it, and we're pretty happy with how it looks. I mean, like I say, we're not professional bakers or anything.
I could have not done it by myself.
The happy couple are in the process of finding a place to display their work and also sharing what they learned about each other in the process.
He sits right there and he's just doing this little thing and little thing. It's kind of, looking at him, it's very heartwarming, and he's very graceful doing that, and it makes me push myself harder too.
I guess this kind of thing could pull people apart. Maybe they'd get fed up with each other, but I think for us it did. I think it did bring us together.
Yeah.
Two people who have found extra sweetness in their lives together. Connor Hogg, CTV News, Edmonton.
Coming up next, a taste of the Midway, what folks can expect to eat at Kdays. Also just ahead, how you can get into Kdays grounds for free, all while supporting local business.
Thankful for Kdays, they just gave us all this for free. It's all all the money goes to us. There's just a small business that helps so much.
Good evening, folks. Into the mid-20s today across most of the province. We get to 25 here in Edmonton. Should be a handful of degrees warmer as Edmonton, a lot of southern, eastern, and northeastern Alberta gets close to 30 or into the 30s. but it's a one-off. We'll talk about the cool down that comes after tomorrow in just a few minutes.
Free tickets to Kdays are up for grabs. To get some, all you have to do is support a local business. Festival organizers say it's a win-win for the community. CTV's Amanda Anderson explains.
The expo grounds are starting to take shape for this year's Kdays. It kicks off in less than 2 weeks. And in the meantime, there's a way to get an early taste of the festival.
This is our Midway mix-up.
Yellowed ice cream came up with a flavor that combines several festival favorites.
We bounced flavors back and forth for a little while, and then this was the funnest one that we could think of for this season. Cotton candy, Oreos, and our blue raspberry.
I don't like Oreos, so this will be a test.
Yeah,
That's actually pretty good. It works.
Further down White Avenue, you'll find the Klondike Pack at Flirt Cupcakes.
This is our cotton candy here with the confetti. This is our caramel apple, if you can tell. This is our gold rush ones, where it has just like little gold candies, and those are inside the cake as well. And then, of course, our mini donut.
So we've partnered with about 24 local businesses.
People who buy from participating businesses will get free tickets to Kdays. Zia Carmali with Explore Edmonton says more than 16,000 free tickets were given out last year, generating almost 8,000 additional visitors to Kdays.
So far, we've given out over 38,000 tickets to Kdays, which is great. Being able to support these businesses in that way is phenomenal. Last year, we saw $125,000 worth of direct sales coming in to support these local businesses.
She says the benefit for Kdays is attracting more people to the festival, while for businesses, it means exposure.
We've given over 1,200 tickets away. I think it's great for both of us. I think it's exposing us to an audience that otherwise may not even know that we're here. We're just a very small business.
And we're so thankful for Kdays. They just gave us all this for free. It's all all the money goes to us. There's just small business. It helps so much.
The program runs until July 27th. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Kdays is the place to be this summer for people who love dill pickles. The fair is once again serving up an assortment of adventurous and unexpected foods to try. More than 35 new food items will be served across the Edmonton Expo Center grounds. That includes ramen burritos, peanut butter and jam chicken waffle cones, cowboy candy mango soft serve, and plenty of pickle-flavored items.
The dill pickle donuts sound delightful. Also, ice cream nachos. I mean, who doesn't love nachos and who doesn't love ice cream? And on a hot summer day, you know, that might be something really cool to check out.
Visitors can vote on their favorite new foods in a number of categories, including sweet, savory, and people's choice. Dozens of athletes from Texas are here in Alberta this week competing in the Stampede Rodeo. With deadly flooding continuing across their home state, they're keeping a close eye on what's going on back home. CTV's Glenn Campbell reports.
Ty Harris is on fuego! Ty Harris got off to a great start in tie-down roping. He had the best time of the day. As nice as it was to win, Harris couldn't help but think of what's going on back home in Texas. He's from San Angelo, which wasn't the hardest hit, but has some flooding.
I'm obviously really thankful that my family is safe, you know, from everything, but that hits home. There's rodeo families that have been affected by it and different people in Texas that have been affected by it.
Harris earned $7,000 for his work on Monday, and he'd like to do something to help the victims.
You know, I always tithe 10% of what I win, whether it's 10% of what I win to I don't know if there's going to be a foundation or a GoFundMe or a Reese. I really don't know what's going on yet, but it was on my mind coming up here.
Ty's brother Joel is also competing in tie-down roping. He says there's been some damage in San Angelo, but not nearly as badly hit as some other areas. He says it's been tough watching what's going on back home.
It just affects you emotionally, and you realize that it's not, you know, this isn't the most important thing, coming out here and competing. As important as we do make it, as fun as it is, it really puts it into perspective that people are going through a really hard time, and we have friends that have had flooding in their house, and you know, I know that a lot of lives have been lost.
63 athletes from Texas are competing in this year's Stampede Rodeo. It's a close-knit community, and they're always there to support each other and people in the affected area. Breakaway roper Jordan Joe Hollabaugh lives in Fort Worth, Texas.
Rodeo is one of the few sports that it doesn't matter if you're blood or not. When something goes on in the rodeo family, we're all hands on deck trying to help and be supportive and where we can.
Glenn Campbell, CTV Sports, Calgary.
Programming brought to you by James H. Brown Injury Lawyers, the heavy hitters of injury law.
Welcome back. A couple degrees above average today, 25 degrees, and should get to 30 tomorrow. You get some heat being pumped in out ahead of that big upper level low, but watch how quickly this slides east. So already by Wednesday, you've got the warmest air moving off to the east of us, and there will be a little bit of a cool down behind that system into Wednesday, Thursday. Not cold, but back into the low 20s for daytime highs. Looks like we'll see a bit of cloud cover tomorrow morning in and around the Edmonton area off to the west. We'll see some scattered showers here across parts of the north. The best chance is going to be late in the day tomorrow for some showers and thunderstorms to start to develop. Not so much here in the Edmonton area. We're under mainly sunny skies for most of the day, but there will be a couple isolated cells further to the north. And then the best chance for showers and thunderstorms stays north of Edmonton through the evening hours, but I put a slight risk in the forecast for the Edmonton region. Wednesday morning, there's some overnight thunderstorms possibly up around Fort McMurray. This is about 1 a.m. Wednesday. Wednesday morning, some increased cloud cover through the Edmonton region. This model doesn't have showers for the Edmonton area Wednesday morning. Some of the Canadian models do have some shower activity, so again, I put a slight chance of some showers into the forecast for Wednesday morning. Best chance is going to be for those to be south of the city. So tomorrow night, best chance for storms is north of Edmonton, and then Wednesday, best chance for showers will be south of Edmonton. 13 degrees in Fort McMurray tomorrow morning, 11 in Grand Prairie and Red Deer, into the mid-teens for a morning low in Edmonton. Highs near 30 across the northeast. Mid to upper 20s in the northwest, 30s for Red Deer, Lloydminster, and Coronation, mid-30s in Medicine Hat, where we have a heat warning in effect. After one day, around 30 tomorrow, you get cool down. 23 and 21 for Wednesday and Thursday. No heavy, steady rain, but that slight risk of an evening thunderstorm tomorrow and a 30% chance of a shower, especially early in the day Wednesday. After heating back up into the mid-20s Friday, Saturday, temperatures return to the low 20s early next week. That is your forecast.
Politicians of all stripes have been visiting Calgary for the Stampede. On Saturday, Prime Minister Mark Carney flipped some pancakes in a cowboy hat. It didn't really go as planned.
Better not. I'm going to do another one. I got another one. I'm practicing. I got a little cocky there.
This is Carney's first trip to the Stampede as Prime Minister. He was at a Liberal Party fundraiser Saturday afternoon. A Canadian couple is proving that obstacles can be turned into opportunity. CTV's Adam Swatsky has more on how a problem tree ended up delighting a neighborhood with some thoughtful pruning.
Every time she backed up her car,
the head on the swivel really a lot.
Tracy Ferreria's view of the oncoming traffic was blocked by that bush.
It was a bit of a challenge, safety-wise.
But Tracy didn't want to cut it down. So her husband John wondered if the best workaround was to cut through it.
And so I made a couple of holes.
Which proved to be a whole lot of help for Tracy.
That's brilliant. This is so much easier to get out of the driveway.
Until a friend mentioned the hole looked like a mouth.
You got to make a face. So I made a face, let the hair grow on it.
He even named it. But despite John's best efforts, the dude seemed to be somewhat dour.
I said, you got to do one on the other side that's happy.
So John made the other side smile, which not only inspired passing people to share appreciative comments, but leave presents too.
And left a beer there for me to say thank you. For Christmas, someone left a card and say thank you.
Because every season, Tracy and John find some way to make the dude even more dynamic.
For Halloween, I have a mannequin that I stuff in its mouth there.
While the grumpy side can get ghoulish, the smiling side is happy to hop at Easter or ho 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 come Christmas.
I sewed a really big Santa hat to put on it.
But when it comes to celebrating our country, there's a consensus that both sides fly flags attached to hockey sticks.
In today's world, I think we need to do happy stuff.
Which is why John has expanded his positive pruning to include a second bush he calls the little dudes, who Tracy calls the kids, because like real children, they also can't get enough of Christmas.
A little bit of effort can bring a whole lot of joy. So why not take the time?
Adam Swatsky, CTV News, Saanich.
I love the effort that must have gone into that, especially with the little dudes there. That's all the time we have tonight. Thank you for tuning in and have a good rest of your night.